Sleep. So it's a very hot topic. What I recommend is that you remember that babies do sleep a lot. That doesn't mean that if your baby is awake a lot, there's something wrong, right? So when we're talking about what babies do, we're talking about averages here, right? And every baby is different. Please remember that. But if your baby sleeps a lot, I mean, more than 16 hours a day, that is normal, right? Are they still going to wake up a lot to feed? Yes, but they feed and then they go back to sleep because what else are they really going to do? Sometimes they can be really fussy in between, in which case, we can talk about different strategies another time to help with that. But I do recommend that you swaddle babies' arms in. I have heard from parents that their baby, quote unquote, doesn't like that. And I usually say your baby's 3 days old and your baby doesn't know what she likes. Babies who are swaddled arms in sleep much, much better than babies who are not. And the reason for that is that startle reflex that we briefly talked about before. They startle and they wake themselves up. And so this is a much better way for them not to do that. I like the Swaddle Me Velcro swaddle. I personally think that you can get a little bit of a tighter swaddle with it. You don't want to do like too tight a swaddle, but you want them to really not be able to get out of it, right? If they get out of their swaddle, it then becomes a safety concern, and that's something that we obviously want to keep an eye out for. And I do recommend that whenever your baby is asleep, if he or she fell asleep in your arms, put them down. I would put them down sleeping flat, either in a bassinet or in a pack and play, unless we have a reason to believe that we need to do something in a different way, because it does ease the transition later to the crib. People say breastfed babies sleep less reliably than formula fed babies. I will say in my experience, that's not always the case. I know with my second daughter, we tried at some point, I was like, I need her to sleep better. I'm just going to give her a bottle of formula. And after a couple of nights of realizing that my daughter actually slept better when I nursed her than when I gave her a bottle of formula, we went right back to exclusive breastfeeding. So, it really depends on your situation, but it is a myth that formula-fed babies sleep much better than breastfed babies. I have seen formula-fed babies sleep through the night, and I have seen breastfed babies sleep through the night.
And sometimes I think the baby is just born a certain way. They're either going to be a really great sleeper or they may not be.
Yes, I agree. I mean, some babies are inherently good sleepers, but you can teach any baby how to sleep well.
And I'm very excited because I'm going to be using your services to help me sleep train one of my babes. So if you guys are out there and have other children or have babies, you definitely have to contact Sharon to help you with the sleep plan.
Yes.
So I do have some more questions that came in regards to sleep. One of them is it bad to allow my newborn to sleep 6 to 8 hours straight through the night?
It depends on if your newborn has gotten back to birth weight or not. So before they get back to birth weight, I usually recommend that the longest stretch be 4 hours and that there really not be more than 1 or 2 4-hour stretches. If the baby, for two reasons. First of all, because especially if you're nursing, because you want to establish good milk supply and good breastfeeding. And if you are letting the baby have too long in between feedings, your body will not produce as much milk, and the baby may not gain weight as reliably. And so if the baby has gone back to birth weight, then you can allow the baby to sleep as long as the baby wants to sleep. I find personally that if you wake up the baby more often for feedings during the day, then they're more likely to take that longer stretch at night.
I would agree with